Warning! Opinion!
I bet you were expecting Grelbin to be the lowest on the list, weren't you? Nah, that sincerely belongs to this little cockblocker of a level right here. Imagine going to the first 2 levels of the game, or, well, rather the first level of the game, since Aranos is just an introduction level in the same vein that Belden 1 was for the first game, only to be met with this on your way to the somewhat exciting looking Maktar Resort. I know I said in the Ratchet 1 video that Eudora felt a lot like a filler level, but this takes the cake and soars through space with it. You could honest to god remove this level altogether, and quite literally nothing of value would be lost. We've already got a separate side objective in the form of the Maktar jamming array. This is just completely unnecessary, especially when you aren't even able to buy any ship upgrades yet. And that just sums up my thoughts on this level. It's filler. And right when you're getting introduced to the vastly improved platforming controls for Ratchet, you get this. Come on, man. So, let's move on to an actual level, shall we? Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. This? Again? Okay, let's focus here. The only reason this level is higher than Wupash is because of the marginally better music, and the fact that this level will stomp you, especially on your first go around, if you don't invest in any of the ship upgrades. This is both a blessing and a curse. I honestly don't really care for the space combat gameplay throughout the series, the only time I ever have being a crack in time on the PlayStation 3. If I wanted to play Star Fox styled levels, I'd just play Star Fox 64, and I have. I come to Ratchet & Clank for 2 things being in play at the same time, platforming and the gunplay, not for these. So the fact I am effectively forced to engage with, let's face it, practically an entirely different genre within this particular level, I'm just not a big fan. I loved Giant Clank in Ratchet & Clank 1, and whilst I am mixed on the improved controls for the guy here in Going Commando, since I liked his prior heaviness and power, Damacel's Moon just feels like an absolute drag. Music's pretty good, but you have to chase this accursed UFO around this Giant Clank, and guess what? You'd be lucky if you even saw that goddamn thing for even 50% of the time you're up here in this moon, all the while the inhabitants below are getting devoured. It's just not fun having to chase this thing for so long, only to be chipping away slowly at its health. The final phase of the fight when it's at low health makes the encounter a bit better, but still, what I said at the start just sums up this level perfectly. It's an utter drag. But you know what? At least the reward for the mapper at the end is worth it. Other than that, bleh. Honestly, the best dogfighting level in the entire game. You've got some decent scenery around, flying through these towers feels kinda satisfying, especially in the ring missions, and I could genuinely bop my head to the music this time around. But yeah, in terms of the forced dogfight encounters, this is genuinely one of the better ones, with an objective that feels the most fun to me, shooting down these huge ships. It kind of feels no different than the Pokitaru dogfight in Ratchet 1, and I love that segment. Nothing else I can say really. Why is this higher than Damacell Orbit despite being the exact same thing almost? Because it feels a bit more significant and climactic, that's why. Instead of some random ass UFO, you get to fight the Thugs for Less leader in his mech. Is it still a chore to catch up to him? Yep. Is it even more of a chore to get that one skill point where you have to only use melee attacks on him? Oh yes it fucking is! But other than that, the encounter isn't too bad. The music is the exact same as in Damacell Orbit, so it's still good. And in fact, it's perhaps way more fitting here for an encounter between Giant Clank and the Thugs leader than Giant Clank versus random ass UFO. Fantastic. We're like, what, 5 minutes into the video, I'm guessing? Slightly more? And we're only just now getting to an actual proper level? Great. Anyway, Grelbin. Surely no introduction is necessary. It's the worst actual Going Commando planet for a few reasons. The first are the Yetis, or snow beasts. They're annoying. They have a very wide range of attack, they're practically omnipresent throughout the map and are practically an infestation, and they will kick your ass! Secondly, the main objective on this planet is literally just Tabora's crystal mining. Again. Why? Like, don't get me wrong, I love Tabora's crystal mining. Once I had the mapper, the charge boots, and the Rhino too. But, again? Really? It's like doing some house chores when you're younger. You get told to hoover, or vacuum, the house. You do it, you think you're done, only for you to be told, great, now also clean the dust in your room. That's Grelbin. The main platforming path is also pretty much a whole nothing burger. You get a gliding section, which is fine, but then your main encounters are just,
Let's spawn enemies into a small to medium-sized room, and you just go through 3 waves of that.
If I wanted to do that, I'd go to the battle arenas on either Maktar or Planet Joba. Come on. So, yeah, that's the main problem with Grelbin. It's annoying, and it's perhaps the most uncreative planet in the entire game. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but I'm actually surprised Yeedle is this low for me. It's the final planet of the game, Megacorp's HQ, Megacorp's equivalent of Kalibo 3 from Ratchet 1, the Proto-Pet Factory, the end of your journey, and if I may go on a slight derail, the music definitely sells this. The music really does say, this is the final level of the game, good luck. And I love both tracks, especially the interiors of Megacorp HQ. However, I think the main problem with Yeedle for me is, well, I guess it feels a bit underwhelming in a way. In a sense, it's almost similar to Veldin 2 from Ratchet 1, the final planet in that game. You encounter a lot of resistance, that's for sure, but I've already seen and experienced more difficult and heart-pumping encounters. One in particular that I can name with absolute confidence being Planet Boldan. Yes, I know it's Boldan, but shut up!
Be silent, filth.
Oh, and the mutated Protopet as the final boss? Sure, it looks quite menacing, but that just does not have the same weight as facing Drek in the first game does, or even Dr. Nefarious in this game's sequel, Up Your Arsenal. Anyway, to summarize, Yeedle feels underwhelming for a final level. I think that's the most accurate descriptor I can possibly give it. This whole planet, and both of its themes, get a personal award from me, for having some of the most forgettable music in Going Commando. I guarantee you, ask me if I remember what Dobo's music sounds like a week from now. I promise I will not remember it at all, except for maybe the opening 8 seconds. Anyway, if Rupash Nebula didn't exist, this would be the filler planet of Going Commando. Why are we here? What is our purpose? What's ultimately the most important things of value we get from this planet? We get the coordinates to Planet Joba, the planet housing the Megacorp games, which we will need to go to later for the Infiltrator, and on the other path we get a secret video showing the true, not so subtle nature of the Protopet, or the experiment, as we're led to believe at first. So yeah, not a whole lot of value on just Dobo alone, and what doesn't help is the gameplay. It's only marginally better than Yeedle's because of the main path actually pulling off the platforming and gunplay mix better, and the admittedly visually engaging gliding section inside the testing facility. But that's about it, again. The visuals of the place aren't too bad, but yeah, I've got nothing else to say. Just another kind of forgettable filler planet. actually like no tag. 2 of the 3 parts are pretty engaging. The Platinum Bolt locations are actually quite clever this time, and I like the visuals of the place. However, there is only one incy-wincy part of the level that I just do not like going through every time I replay this level, and it's the chemical factory. This damn place.
Hey kids, you loved using the Hydro Displacer from Ratchet Clank 1, right? Well, guess what, bucko? You know the thing that makes any planet it's used in feel like a chore? Do it again with a fresh coat of paint with the new Dominator!
Enough said. The music is pretty okay. Definitely a lot more memorable than Dobo's, but I will admit, I do kind of forget what some parts are every now and then. Oh, and we meet one of my favorite side characters from the whole franchise here too.
Psst. Got a ship that needs, improvements? Worried about getting caught? At Slim Cognitos, your secret is safe with us. Whether it's weapons, shielding, or a new hyperspace module, we'll hook you up quickly, cheaply, and most important, quietly. So next time you're in the market for some, legally ambiguous refashioning, remember the name. Slim Cognitos. The only inspections we pass are yours.
The concept for Aranos 2 is actually a pretty interesting one. You're semi-frequently switching back and forth between both Ratchet and Clank alone, as they try and escape the airborne prison. Nice idea, though mixed execution, honestly. The Clank sections, like last game, are quite with Clank receiving no control adjustments or improvements from Ratchet 1, as far as I can tell, beyond being able to command a few more situational bots. I kinda have empathy for the devs here, as it felt like they didn't really know what else to really do with the guy. And the segments where Ratchet is alone is pretty decent. It's mainly just the Clank sections once more that kinda get to me. But given the concept of the level, where you're trying to escape from this massive prison, as well as switching back and forth between Ratchet and Clank in the same level, it definitely bumps this level up way higher than a planet like Orksum from the first game. Unfortunately though, like before, it is the Clank sections that drag this down. Not much else to say. Going Commando's level 1, and it's quite decent. It's not my favourite, and I personally think Novalis was a way stronger level 1, but Uzla ain't that bad. You have plenty of space and time to get acquainted with Ratchet's improved control scheme, building off of Aranos 1, and I'll admit, even though I'm not really that into the theming of this place, it's still pretty unique and visually striking. The music is, of course, memorable, even if it's also not a top track of mine, and this level just kind of pumps you up further after the introduction level, which is what a level 1 really should be doing, so that's great. Oh, and who can forget the seemingly abandoned Megacorp store in here?
Megacorp is pleased to announce a 3% employee discount on all Megacorp merchandise. Tax laws still apply. Thank you for shopping at Megacorp. Please visit us again.
I think this also sums up my thoughts on Uzla perfectly. It's not my favourite, but it's also quite good. Decent, honestly. Jobber. The planet that I'd imagine would probably be ranked higher on this list by some. Unless you're a speedrunner or a completionist. This planet has a skill point called Get Fucked, Wrench Ninja 2 Massacre. It's easily one of the most confusing skill points in the series, as it's kinda hard to determine what it actually allows for and what it doesn't. Trust me, we've got some jank to cover. I'll just quickly say that, visually, the level looks really good. I love the variety in this planet as well. You've got a main path, which is somewhat of a climb upwards towards the battle arena, the actual battle arena itself, the Megacorp games, and of course, the hoverbike racing track. There's a lot to do on Joba, and depending on what you're looking to get out of it, you may grow to enjoy it, whether you want to or not. I like the planet, but on revisits, I do kind of just want to do the battle arenas and get on my way at times. I feel like this skill point alone is enough to shape people's perceptions on this planet, but for me, this has had a mixed impact. I don't have a whole lot of vitriol towards it, but I wasn't exactly the most fond of this either. So that's that. Let's finally move on. Okay, look, I know that I probably shouldn't be counting Going Commando's level 0 here, as it is pretty much fulfilling the exact same role that Velden 1 did for the first game, but this time, I think I have a more solid case as to why I'm including Aranos 1 on this list, and that's simply because I think it's far more impactful, and stands out compared to Velden 1. You've got a set piece or two with you being on one of the wings of the flying lab, and yeah, that's just my justification for it. It stands out far more than Velden 1 did as an intro level. There's only so many times I can gush about this level being one of the strongest openings in the entire franchise. Perhaps next to Kerwan's in Tools of Destruction, one of the main things that I think that game actually gets right, by the way. So, let's move on. If Velden is Ratchet's equivalent to Green Hill Zone, then I suppose Maktor Resort, debatably, could be Ratchet's equivalent to Casino Night Zone. It's a pretty chill level, with the right amount of difficulty for a level 2. There's more hostile and antagonistic enemies, there's gambling, there's a battle arena that is always welcome in the series, the first of its kind actually, there's souvenirs, and of course, there's gambling. Overall, I really enjoy Maktar. It keeps the scale feeling as progressively and consistently high as Aranos 1 and Uzla did, and I never tire of coming here. I think the main reason it's above Uzla for me is just simply me being more of a fan of the whole space casino gimmick theme we've got going on here. It's just more fun and unique. Ratchet & Clank actually go to Siberia. It's Now, contrary to what other series like Honkai Impact 3rd would tell you about Siberia, in the Ratchet & Clank universe, it's actually a pretty cool oh my god. Sorry, anyway, to actually be serious, I do think this level is pretty good. This is the level where you finally confront and spank the ever-loving hell out of the thief.
Ha! You've lost, Megacorp! Take your imperialistic eco-fascism to another dimension!
Sniping's a good job, mate.
And can we please talk about this set piece right here? Like, holy shit, this would be something I would expect out of the PlayStation 3 games, but it's done here and it looks so damn cool. Look, bottom line is, Siberius is a pretty good planet. The main path is short, yes, but it's the encounter with the thief and the preceding set piece that really bumps this level up high. Though, it's also because of that, paradoxically, that is only keeping Siberius in 10th place. If this was just a smidge longer, this would definitely be higher.
Catch this! Try to dodge this! Get ready to feel the burn!
I'm sorry. You're right. I am just a little
Deranged.
That's all. I can get through this.
Oh, I'm a Sam!
Anyway, so some of you are probably raising an eyebrow at this. But Kaio, like, why? Why is it like this high? You know why it can't be this high, so why is it this high? And don't worry, hun, we'll get there. But I just like how badass this planet feels, man. It's got that almost Umbrus-like vibe going on, except even more dangerous. I like how open the level feels as well, which perfectly transitions and sets the stage from the smaller, highly dangerous encounters to this guy.
What's so funny?
Nothing, I guess. Prepare to die!
This singular Meg, this singular boss, has gate-kept children. Like, you know it's that bad when on the comment section for the music of the next planet, Smog, you can see a comment like this, and even this. Have I driven the point home yet? How this didn't receive the Snow Beast award for the shittiest enemy in the game is beyond me. I mean, yeah, the gremlins on Grelbin were annoying, but this guy is like the creme de la creme, the cream of the crap, the utter epitome of bullshit. Apparently. Yeah, you know what? I don't think he's that bad. Yeah, I said it. Here's what I usually do. You know those turrets that the game really, really wants to make you use against him? Don't. Just get up top to the nearest building, circle strafe, preferably with the shield charger, and just unload everything. Spare no expense, spare nothing. And you'll be done with him in around 5 to 10-ish minutes, depending on if you've leveled up some of your stuff or not. I'd highly recommend you do that, by the way. So yeah, badass planet, annoying boss. And the boss isn't even that bad in my opinion. At least, if you're prepared for him. Yo, Bogon, Kerwan from Solana called. It's saying it's gonna sue you. Yeah, Endako, in my eyes, is effectively the Kerwan of the Bogon Galaxy. And you know what? For some reason, I actually think, despite how similar it is in theme to Kerwan, still stands out. It feels distinct enough to be its own location, which, honestly, is perfect. It's like Endako copied just about enough of Kerwan's homework, and was actually successful in changing parts of it so that the teacher, or rather us, the players, accepted it. And the music, oh my, need I say more? I like the additions that Endako brings as well to the bustling metropolis concept too. Like the robots that try and clean up after litter, which even tried to kill you for it, holy shit. Or even the short grind rail section. You even get to go inside and play around inside the facility with some of the cranes. Endako is just Kerwan, with some extra unique bonuses. And you know what? I dig it. I pride myself as a jamming array enthusiast. Honestly, one of the first, and surprisingly best, moon levels in the entire original trilogy. It wasn't until a cracking time for me on the PlayStation 3 where I was this excited for one of those again. So, what puts the jamming array this high on the list, especially above the actual main Maktar resort level no less? Well, I just really enjoyed the atmosphere. It was nice and chill, the objective was straightforward, the ability to view the entire level as a map was just so cool, and was actually useful for this kind of objective. We had to go and disable a bunch of transponders scattered around the level. It had a great sense of verticality, and the atmosphere was just I mean, I'm a sucker for atmosphere. My love for Old Tannis and the Oddworld franchise as a whole should tell you that much. So yeah, I really dig the jamming array, and I barely see anyone talk about it. Severely underrated, highly unique too. The only other game I'm aware of that even dabbled with this kind of mood-based spherical 3D level design was Super Mario Galaxy. And I guess Sonic Lost World? Question mark? Gadgetron is superior to Megacorp, and that's not just a statement from me, it's a fact. I'm totally not biased, you see, but this planet is the only showcase of where Gadgetron doesn't come out on top, and Megacorp successfully overran and put them out of business in the Bogon Galaxy. And you know what? For an abandoned Gadgetron site, Barlow is still a pretty exciting place to explore, especially for a relatively early game level. Swimming makes its return on this planet, however briefly. You've got some extended swing shot usage here. The hoverbike races makes its first appearance on this planet too, and is a really exciting and evolving track, especially at the higher difficulties. And there's a lot of stuff to see in general. Oh, and perhaps even cooler, once you reach the only functioning Gadgetron vendor in the entirety of the Bogon Galaxy, if you have a Ratchet Clank 1 save file, you can unlock some of the returning weapons you had for free. Though this only includes the bomb glove, decoy glove, visibomb gun, walloper, and the Tesla claw. Still, a pretty solid selection, and it's always really fun to run around and try and use your old weapons again. But other than that, I don't know what else to bring up. Barlow is just a really fascinating planet, and it's great to be on. This is perhaps even higher praise than you think, given that I kinda soured on early game planets like Iridia in the Ratchet 1 video for not giving the player much to do. Since the creation of our planet and civilization, several commandments were made. You shall not steal. Honor your father and mother. But there was one that has sadly not been adapted with the passage of time. The missing commandment? If you've never killed the tourists in this planet, it means that you've never played Ratchet & Clank 2. Look, I'm sorry, I was just having too much fun. And hey, that's a nice descriptor for Todano. It's pretty damn fun. The vibe of the level, the slightly more extended use of the tractor beam gadget, how alive the level feels, and of course, the music.
It's motherfucking Tando time. It's Tando time, baby!
Definitely a planet that I really enjoy coming to during my playthroughs. I love smoke, and there's a reason why everyone gets a huge sigh of relief when coming to this place, rather than going, ah shit, here we go again. This is one of the only levels, I'd say perhaps in the entire trilogy, or maybe even the entire series, that has you up in the air. It gives you that sense of verticality and freedom like almost no other level that has come before it, relying on the levitator to cross huge gaps. Hoovin tried giving you that sense of verticality too, but that felt more like a climb, whereas smoke feels like a dream. This one platinum bolt will kick your ass unless you manage your timing and levitator fuel too, but it's so satisfying to get. Also, just look at this place, just look at it! It looks awesome! Oh, and the warehouse? Yet another unique element to the level that doesn't overstay its welcome, quickly putting you back outside, which is where smoke shines. Always a pleasure to fly by here. You know, for the primary planet that is being used to showcase the problem that the protopets are, as well as the name being All God City, Jesus Christ, Damosel is an utter attraction from start to finish. The planet feels the most alive out of any of the prior ones, which is, once again, ironic. But you know what's the most sick as hell thing this planet contains? These unique teleporting trains with grind rails above them. This is easily one of the best grind rail set pieces I've perhaps ever seen in the series. I mean, seriously, need I say more here? Oh, and just like Altanus in Ratchet 1, this, my friends, is the difficulty spike planet. So, I hope you've been upgrading your weapons, or you're not going to be enjoying the ongoing apocalypse for very long. You'll be having this fella try to spot and kick you, which is creepy as fuck by the way, Or, alternatively, you'll get chew-toyed by these asexually charged proto-beds. Or else, this will be you.
I am totally screwed! My career is over! And it's all that blue bastard's fault!
If not though, and you have a hard-on for slightly more difficult levels, you'll enjoy Damosel. And that's why it's my second place pick. And of course, the music. Not much else spells apocalypse, or perhaps difficulty spike hell, in David Bergoat's musical dictionary than this. Honestly, it was actually my first place pick for the longest time, but there's another that just barely edges it out. So, let's see what the number one pick is this time, eh? Alright, this time, my dear viewers, I don't think Boldam being number one is that much of a surprise. I come to think of it, this also somewhat applies to Damosel in number 2 as well. But this time, I guess I have to side with the majority. What else can I even really say that most people on the interwebs haven't already? The superb grind rail path, with a satisfying challenge in the form of a skill point where you can't take any damage whilst on it. The sense of scale, with the gravity boots being used to its full effect here. The fun little time-specific shortcut to the Insomniac Museum, where you can only enter between 3 AM to 3:59 AM. Real funny, by the way, Insomniac. Or perhaps this being the planet where you will fight for your life. And I love it. Bouldan has a lot going for it visually, gameplay-wise, and in terms of challenge. If you could get past Bouldan, you've already got enough of a mustache grown on your face for Damosel later on. And I swear this is legitimately going to be the last time I do this in this video, but the music? Hello? God damn, it's so good! No wonder Bouldan was voted as having the best track in the entirety of Going Commando on Reddit. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this ending part of the main path track is actually pretty underrated, in my opinion. And there's also the grind rail music. But trust me, I don't want to keep filling up this video with just music segments, so I'll trust you to check it out on your own. It's really good as well. And that's a wrap yet again. Once again, I don't have much else to say, other than I might do one on Up Your Arsenal in the future, but who knows. Be sure to like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want more Ratchet related content, and I'll see you all in the next upload. Laters.